Hello, guys. So here is a walkthrough for Tuesday's class. Again, I will not be here. I will not be there, I should say. So I'm going to make sure that you guys understand what's going on with criteria C now. Remember, today is the due date for criteria B. And remember, all you're doing for that is if I go back to week 3 here, you'll see that you'll have design mod criteria B guide. Make sure that you fill this out completely. You come up to this little share. You make sure that you share it with me so I can see it or have privileges to see it. If you just change this to anybody with an AAPS, Ann Arbor Public Schools, you can copy this link. You can submit it that way. You can do it any way you want, or you can just come up and share it with me specifically if you want. That's fine. Make sure I have that, and then you make sure you copy the link, put it into design mod project criteria B submission, which is in week 4. So make sure that you guys have this done today. That's the first and foremost thing to do. The next thing we're going to talk about today is criteria C. So I have criteria C's guide up here. And as you can see, we're going to be going over again. The submission is today for criteria B, that form basically. There's no interview. There's nothing like that. It's just do this guide, copy and paste your pictures, and submit this into Schoology. So after you're done with submitting criteria B, we're going to be working on criteria C, and I'm going to talk about that today. You're going to be working on criteria C for basically the whole week and most of next week, actually. So don't think that you're not going to have enough time to finish this or any of that kind of stuff. So today, December 1st, happy December, you're going to be basically working on criteria C. So now that you guys have your brainstorming ideas, you've figured out what you want to do, hopefully, you should be making in criteria C your solution into a reality. So we're going to use design mod criteria C guide, which is also in week 4 right here, design mod project criteria C guide. And this walks you through, again, what to do for this one. So the first step of criteria C is to construct a plan. And this just basically, you can use Google Docs, Google Slides, Jamboard, and all you're doing is making a detailed plan for how you will use your time each day of the project. So I'm going to work on, the actual handle of the mug today. Tomorrow I'm going to work on the body of the mug. The next day I'm going to work on the drawing file, whatever the case may be, right? So you are going to use the Design C guide to help you organize all this. And all you're going to do, you can even just use this and fill it in. So file, make a copy, and save it into your own drive. And then from there, what do I plan to finish on this date? What did I actually finish on this date? And if you don't finish things, that's okay. But you need to have some kind of plan. The second part is to actually demonstrate your technical skills. So everything we've taught you in Onshape up to this point, and how well you're following the plan that you created up here. So all you're going to do is you're going to make a drawing, a final design, a model in Onshape with your basically your whole model represented in Onshape, right? So if and when I'm done, you're going to go into Schoology and submit the sentence, I have finished and shared you my design modification project model in the design modification project model. Now, you won't even see that yet for another couple weeks because you shouldn't be done in less than a week. It'll be in like week 5, week 6. So don't fret from you not seeing that submission. But just giving you a heads up, this is how you're going to share. So you're going to complete a 3D model with dimensions in Onshape using the dimensions you found and created in criteria B. That means you're going to create a model and you're going to create a drawing file with a top, front, and side view isometric with all the dimensions that you made up. That being said, this is how you share. Again, we've done this before when we did the performance task. So you click the share button in Onshape, you click individuals into the tabs, you type my name in. After you select the teacher's name, you hit edit, make sure it's edited, and then you hit share. If you've done this correctly, my name should pop up something like this, right? So these are the things. You're going to create a drawing file of your design and make sure the following is performed. shows the 3 views with the best orientation, shows the best isometric view, and name in the title block. Okay, show as many dimensions as you possibly can. That's what I'm going to ask. Click submit an assignment in the design modification model. Again, it's not open yet. It's not there yet. It will be. And this is where you're going to type in this little message that you have shared. I have finished and shared you my design modification project model. The document name is blah, whatever your actual modification name is, and then hit submit. So there's going to be a design modification model submission, which is where you put this little sentence after you go into Onshape and go through this whole process. And then there's going to be also a design modification as I go through here. The next part after you're done with the actual CAD is to justify the changes made in the design, right? So as you're going through, there's going to be things that you change, right? This thing is obviously too big from the original design I made, so I made my handle a little bigger, right? Or it was too big and I needed to make it smaller. Just talk about those things. So as you work, keep track of those changes, again, using this guide. So changes made right here, what change did you make? As you go through this process, keep track of what changes you made and then justify why you made those changes. It was too big, it was too small, it was too heavy, it didn't look right, it looked ugly, whatever the case may be. This is where you're going to document that. So if I go back, you're going to see in Schoology, and again, week 5, we're not even there yet. Under Thursday and Friday, you will see a design modification project criteria C submission. It's not to be confused with the design modification model. So the design modification project model, you just put this sentence after you share in Onshape your model. This other one, again, next week, design modification project criteria submission, you are going to submit this whole document so that I can go through and say, oh, okay, this was their plan. They shared everything they needed to, and then they tell me what their justification between the changes and why they made the changes that they did. That's it for Criteria C. So you go through this guide, it'll explain what you're doing basically, share your Onshape document, and next week, again, if you have any questions, you can ask me, but that's pretty straightforward. Criteria B, there aren't interviews again, so don't freak out on this. I'll even literally delete that whole thing. I'm just gonna say submission, and I will change the rest later. Do Monday, Tuesday. So this is supposed to be done in class, and this is, again, just that design or criteria B guide that you guys completed with your brainstorming sketches, your list of criteria, your decision matrix, and your final sketch inside of there. So there's no interview. It's just you submitting the document. That should have been done first today. If you have any questions, again, please put it in the questions regarding criteria C here, and I will answer them literally while I'm at my doctor's appointment. So farewell, and hope this helps. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, guys. Bye.